Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do the final update to the very popular video series titled, My Girlfriend's Blue-Haired Mom Wanted Me to Give Her Daughter a Poly Marriage, Instead I Gave Him the Boot. And let me tell you guys, both those videos did extremely well. You guys really enjoyed them, but the second video, where the guy obviously ended in a way that we were all shocked and disappointed, I've never seen so many comments in a short period of time, 24 hours, from so many dudes all over the world. It was staggering. Either you guys were having comments trying to encourage him not to make the big mistake that it sounded like he was going to do, or flat out wanted to give him smacks from wherever you were, smacks from Jamaica, smacks from Australia. It was hilarious. And I am proud to report that with our final update here, you guys definitely helped contribute in knocking some sense into him, no pun intended. And this is the final update to what's going on in his story. And as a quick recap, this is all about the guy. He was with his girl for 4 years. He thought she was great enough to propose to. He went away for a long weekend or a week to see his cousin graduate from boot camp. And after the graduation, they all went out, his family, to clubs and bars and all that. And they were dancing and all that. And she's a young girl and pretty. And his mom put pictures on Facebook. And lo and behold, he finds out later on his girlfriend at the time, saw these pictures, got crazy jealous, thinking he was cheating, and went and cheated on him. He comes back, she's different, and eventually he's ready to propose, got the ring. And he even went to her mom asking permission, and her mother is a blue-haired, man-hating ethnicist counselor. And essentially, even though she was acting strange, she gave him the blessing. He went to talk to the girl, and the mother brought up the idea of them having an open marriage when they got married, right? And then he finds out this whole thing, that she cheated on him and all that, and her reason behind that, she thought he was cheating, a bunch of bullshit, kicked him out. Part 2 is where he picked up where he was going to get his stuff from her. Then he went over there, and she's bawling her eyes out and crying and all that. And then down the road, he admits that he did the video he sent in, and then her friends saw, he sent it to her friends to show that, hey, you know, this is what really happened. So they stopped giving him a hard time. And she eventually got word of the video, wanted to talk, so they talked to her, and she pretty much bawled her eyes out, apologizing, all that. So she thought it was that it was some other girl, not his cousin, blah, blah, blah. Revealed that she found out from her mom that her dad is not her real dad. All this stuff, the blue-haired mom is out of her life, all this stuff. So this guy was considering giving her a second chance, which all you guys just erupted. And I told this guy, this is a big mistake, bad idea. That's great, she's trying to better herself in all these ways, but still, I don't trust her. And so this is where we pick up. And let's just say, guys, that he had other things up his sleeve during this whole process. So this is going to end in a way that you guys will be proud, and this guy will redeem himself in our little community here. So he starts off, or continues his saga, saying, "Hello, SSM and community. Thanks to you all, I'm about to share my absolute final update. We shall see, amigo. I have heard that before. I've gotten final updates and final updates and final updates. It's a gift that keeps on giving, so we shall see. I said in my first story that I'm a nice guy, but I don't tolerate BS in my life. There are 2 ways to approach a confrontation: force or intellect. I don't want to fight with anyone, but that doesn't make me weak. It makes me calculating. After sending in my first story, I knew there was a good chance that my second story, if it made to the video, would be seen by Gail and all her friends. I wasn't wrong." He knew this, by the way. He knew that they would see all those videos. "It was after work on Thursday, the day after the second video was posted, and I started getting calls from some of our mutual friends and Gail's best friend telling me that I was a great guy for giving her another chance and not listening to all those angry men and incels in the comment section. To hear that, boys? Y'all were called incels and angry men. Isn't it amazing when somebody can't make an actual argument to somebody's views, that they instead resort to personal attacks, hence the angry men and incels? And by the way, if this was a channel that was helping women, so to speak, the way I help guys, these same people that would be labeling you guys as these things would see it completely different, and you all know it. I told all of them that nothing was guaranteed, but I would see if we can make something work. That seemed to satisfy most of them. Well, at the end of the day, who gives a crap what they think? You're your own man, and you do what you want to do. And I know you know this. I know you were handling the situation as it was in that moment. But at the end of the day, who gives a crap what anybody thinks? It's your freaking life. It was a few hours later when I got a call from Gail. She said that she had made an appointment for the polygraph for the following Friday and had written down the questions she was going to answer and wanted me to come over on Friday to see how serious she was. Well, I gotta ask, where do you go sign up for a polygraph test? I mean, do you Google where to take a polygraph test, near me? Like, where's the closest McDonald's near me? Or where's the closest Pep Boys near me? Where's the closest polygraph testing near me? Seriously, I gotta wonder about that. I told her I'd be helping my cousin for most of the day after I picked her up at the airport, but we could stop by in the evening. At first, she asked if I could come alone, but I told her that I was taking my cousin out to dinner afterwards, and since it was only to look at the questions, it wasn't going to take very long. She reluctantly agreed. Mostly, I didn't want to be there without a witness. So, here's what puzzles me. She's writing down a huge list of all the questions that she's then going to be asked in the polygraph test. In other words, a big list of questions that she can prep herself for to respond in a way that hopefully can fool the polygraph test. Wouldn't it make more sense that she goes to the polygraph test if this were to happen and she doesn't know the question she's being asked? Right? Am I alone in this thinking here? This doesn't add up with her. On Friday morning, I picked up Sandra, my cousin, and another lady that was in school with at the airport at just 9 o'clock and drove her to NAS Oceana to get them both checked in. That took most of the day. After getting a temporary pass to get on base, we spent the next 5 hours getting them both checked in. I'm not going to put her out there, but Sandra is going to be working on an FA-18 squadron, and that's pretty damn cool. That is cool. The other girl was stationed in a different squadron, but she seemed nice enough, and Sandra liked her. She agreed to go out to dinner with us later that evening, as she was new in town. Sandra has a room in the barracks on base, but she's going to be staying at my place. Hopefully that isn't going to be a problem, but we'll see. Anyway, after we left the base and went to my apartment to get her situated and changed out of her uniform, we drove over to Gail's apartment. On the way, I filled Sandra in on everything that was happening, and she was pretty pissed. I asked her just to be there as a witness for me and try not to punch Gail in the face, and she said she would try. So you're driving over there, and you're informing your cousin about everything that's happened, right? Ever since that whole, her boot camp and everything, and how everything that happened. Oh, I can't imagine what that was like. I'm sure she was not looking forward to seeing this girl, ex-girlfriend of yours, and yeah, I would want to punch her in the face. When we made it to Gail's place, she wrapped me in a hug as soon as she opened the door, telling me how sorry she was for everything. She is definitely going overboard on the apologies. Never-ending apologies. I let the hug linger for a minute, but pushed her back a little and asked to see the question she was going to answer for the polygraph, and after introducing her to my cousin. I could tell my cousin was pissed, and I understood how she was feeling. We had a seat in the living room, and she had the questions printed out. She hands me the questions, and I spent a few minutes reading them, while Gail was doing her best not to look at my cousin, who was glaring at her. Again, this makes no sense to me that she's printing out these questions, that she's going to have to answer the questions on this polygraph test. She's being prepped for this. It makes no sense. Now, I have to be honest. All the actions that Gail took to win me back were too perfect. I agree. I thought that from before on the second video. And by the way, remember guys, she claimed to cut her blue-haired, angry as fuck, man-hating, effeminist, divorced mom out of her life. And all you guys, including me, said, yeah, bullshit. The second she gets this guy back, mommy dearest, blue-haired mama's coming back in the show. Guaranteed. It was almost as though someone that had experience with the situation was coaching her, ding, 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 and going line by line down the reconciliation checklist. I suspected it was a crazy blue-haired bee that just happened to be a marriage counselor. I agree with you. All the questions she had written down only confirmed what she already admitted to. When I handed her the paper back, she asked if the questions would help prove she was telling me the truth. I told her they would only prove that she already admitted, but I had more questions. She looked really nervous when I said that and told me I was over the target. Gail asked what else I wanted to know, so I pulled out my phone and opened a list of my own questions. Yeah, now she's nervous because she hasn't prepared to answer these potential questions. Question number 1. Did you have any inappropriate discussions or relations with your coworker before I went to see my cousin graduate boot camp? Translation, was there something going on or brewing before, the whole thing that she saw on Facebook and overreacted? Number 2, was the coworker the only man other than me you were intimate with before or after my return? Number 3, were you considering a poly relationship before my trip? At number 4, do you think I'm stupid? The more questions I read, the more nervous she was looking, and it told me everything I needed to know. I saw in the comments a bunch of people saying that polygraphs don't work. Maybe they do and maybe they don't. I have no idea. But the threat of a polygraph works wonders. Gail started crying and apologizing, saying how much she loved me and wanted a chance to make up for everything. I snapped. This is a summary of what I told her, minus most of the swear words I used. Now here we go. He said to her, or pretty much this is what he said to her, I gave you 4 years of my life and this is how you treated me. I was going to marry you. I have no doubt that you were cheating on me before I went on my trip. Maybe if you would have said that you had a random one-night stand at a bar, I might have believed you. I know you were doing something with your coworker before all this happened because you were in his bed 2 days, and then you spent 3 weeks ghosting me. Yeah, it was all very rushed. Suddenly, she saw this on Facebook and boom, she's off with her coworker. Nobody believed that was just happened to be that way. Sure, she's good looking, she could seduce her coworker, but Unless you're a complete SLUT, there was already a relationship going on between you, and you were using the pictures as a way to justify what I have no doubt you were already doing to me. That's what many of you guys thought. That's what I thought. Lose my phone. He says, lose my phone and do not ever talk to me again. You're a lying, cheating, WHORE, just like your mom. And then you thought you were going to manipulate me with the BS story about your dad not being your dad. In the 4 years we were together, you never talked about him or seemed the least bit concerned about him in any way. All of a sudden, you find out that he's not your dad and you're heartbroken. Bullshit. You can't lose what you didn't have. That story about the dad may be true, but she, like you said, didn't care before. But this was a way she could do a sob story and get him feeling bad and stuff like that. Manipulation. I got up and told Sandra we were leaving and Gail lost it. I'm not even sure what she was saying, but there was a lot of crying and begging me not to go and to give her another chance. It's hard to see someone that you spent so much of your life with falling apart, but she did this to us and she did to herself. I told her to take a good look because this was the last time she would ever see me, and we left. Good job, brother. You redeemed yourself. Now, I think obviously you had this in the back of your mind when you were doing this before, and obviously used the second video to help get her and the friends to reveal their hands and get her comfortable and all that. But still, you worried a lot of us in that last episode, so you have redeemed yourself. Very good. You're back in the club. I was furious by the time I made it to my car, but I had the answer to the one question that had been bothering the most. Was that the first time in our relationship? I had to know. There was never any chance I was going to take her back, but when she offered to get the polygraph done, I couldn't help it. I had to find out for my own peace of mind, so I told her what she wanted to hear. I assumed that her friends would have seen the second video, and they did. Thank you, SSM and community, for flaming me as hard as you did. I think it made Gail think I was weak and would believe what she was telling me. Or selling me. Well, bro, you handled it very well. And you're welcome. Growing up, I spent a lot of time with my dad. He was a Navy man, and one of his hobbies was miniature war reenactments. He spent a lot of time teaching me battle tactics that were used in World War II, but one of the most significant things he did for me was to make me read Sun Tzu's Art of War. If you change the word army into women, I believe Sun Tzu was the first RP in history. Here are a couple of quotes to summarize what I was doing with Gail. Bro, I got my first copy of Sun Tzu's Art of War when I was 21, and I still have the same copy I bought back in 1999 today. and I do peruse it from time to time. Great wisdom there. So when you guys ever want to read a good book, it's not like a novel, but great wisdom about dealing with adversaries. Check it out. Sun Tzu's Art of War. Google it when you've done the video. Get a copy from Amazon or wherever you go shopping. That's a good reference guide. It'll really help you out. And I might add, read Machiavelli. There's another one. Now here's some quotes from the Art of War that he took just for this situation. Quote number 1 says, "In the midst of chaos, there is opportunity." Very true. Quote number 2, "Engage people with what they expect. It is what they are able to discern and confirms their projections. It settles them into predictable patterns of response, occupying their minds while you wait for the extraordinary moment, that which they cannot anticipate." Quote number 3, "It is easy to love your friend, but sometimes the hardest lesson to learn is to love your enemy." Number 4, hold out baits to entice the enemy. Foreign disorder and crush him. Let me read that again. I fucked that up. Hold out baits to entice the enemy. Fiend disorder and crush him. And the 5th one, and probably the best one, all warfare is based on deception. And there you go. You got a few quotes from Sun Tzu. If you guys like that stuff, check it out. He says, "In my second story, I said that my parents told me to give her another chance. That was not true. Both her mom and dad said to stay as far away from Gail as I could because she already showed me who she really was." I agree. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. So that's it. My relationship with Gail was over the day I kicked her and her mom out of my apartment, and now I have confirmation of what I suspected. Maybe it was stupid, but I had to know. I have little doubt that she and her friends will see this if it makes it to a video, and to them I would only say this: you are the sum of your friends. Do not ever contact me again. There you go. He's making abundantly clear he does not want his ex or any of her freaking friends to contact him again. Bro, you handled this great. Good job. You made the comeback here, even though that's obviously your plan all along. I'm proud of you. Okay? And guys, thank you again for helping this dude out. He says, "SSM, you're the modern day field general on female nature. I hope you write a book someday about all the tips you share, and I really hope you call it The Art of Smack. I was going to sell the engagement ring that I bought for Gail, but have since been wearing it on a chain around my neck to remind me to never put that much trust in another woman. Now I'm just looking forward to buying my Smack t-shirt." They're coming, guys. I had some delays because I had some family issues going on that occupied my time for a few weeks. And then there's trademark issues, but things are coming soon. I will let you know the second the store is up and ready, and it will be soon. It says here, "I ended up taking Sandra and her friend out to dinner last night, and we had a great time. I'll be taking both them to Mount Trashmore to watch the fireworks on the 4th of July, and from here on, I'm closing that chapter in my life. New lessons learned. For all the active service, retired, and veteran folks out there, thank you for your service. For me, Independence Day will have a new meaning. But for everyone in the community, be safe and have fun." Yes, thank you to all servicemen out there and veterans and everybody else. Thank you for your service. Absolutely, and I agree with that. But anyhow, guys, great story. This wraps up the saga. Now, something tells me there's going to be more going on. He may choose to share it down the road, or he may not. Or he may email me personally and just give me an update, but it won't be a video. We'll see. But anyhow, guys, this is a great one there. And again, thank you to all you guys that helped out. You may not think that your comments, when you comment on these videos, especially the ones that guys write in looking for help, you may think that may not help them, or maybe you do it for fun. You know, you like commenting on different people you recognize. It does help. It really does. And the more perspectives people get from people, it really helps them see something that they can't see or don't want to see. So when you have guys like you guys that watch me quite often and comment from all around the world, I mean, not just here in the US of A, which the majority of my viewers come from. I'm talking all over the freaking world, different cultures, different religions, different ways of looking at things. It really helps, and it's something else. So, great job. Please, I thank you for that. Keep it up on all the videos I do, especially the personal stories of guys looking for help. It really does help them. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Again, by all means, comment down below and let me know what you think about this. Let him know what you think. And also, guys, if you have a really great story you'd like to share, just like this dude, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com, and just make it easy for me to read. I'll get to it eventually. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.